close your eyes for a moment. Now, imagine a lemon, bright yellow, resting on a cool kitchen counter. Picture yourself slicing into it. The juice sprays into the air. Its scent is sharp and tangy. Now, imagine lifting that slice to your lips and biting down. Do you feel it? That tiny rush of saliva? The faint sting in your jaw? Your body reacting to something that doesn't exist in front of you? That was thought alone. A signal sent from mind to body, so real your cells obeyed it without question. And so, tonight we wonder, if your mind can make your mouth water, can it also make the world change? Welcome to Waking Dream Stories, a place where wonder meets rest. If the world feels heavy tonight, if your mind is crowded with things unsolved and undone, this story will ask nothing of you except to listen and drift. If you're drawn to wondering about the world in a way that makes you feel a little more hopeful as you fall asleep, then I hope you'll subscribe. We'll be here with more questions tomorrow. For now, let the world outside fade. Let your breathing slow. Take a deep breath. Let it out. And now, if consciousness is immaterial, weightless, invisible, untouchable, how could it possibly affect the physical world? The classic scientific answer is, it cannot. The brain is an organ. The mind is its output. Matter is matter, thought is thought, and never the twain shall meet. And yet, cracks in that certainty have always existed. Athletes and astronauts who mentally rehearsed complex tasks improved their performance nearly as much as those who physically practiced them. In one basketball experiment at the University of Chicago, players who practiced free throws only in their imagination improved by 23% over 30 days, nearly matching the 24% improvement of those who practiced physically. Thought reshaped muscle memory. Visualization altered neural wiring. The immaterial changed the material. Yet, if the mind and the world truly influence each other, the implications reach far beyond self-help slogans or meditation apps. It would mean that consciousness, whatever it is woven into the fabric of reality itself. It would mean that your thoughts are not just private weather patterns inside your skull, but threads in the tapestry of the cosmos. Modern physics, too, hints at this unsettling possibility. At the quantum level, reality behaves in ways that defy common sense. Particles exist in multiple states at once, until the moment that they are observed. The act of measurement itself seems to collapse infinite possibilities into a single outcome. It is as if the universe is waiting for a witness before deciding what to be. Physicist Niels Bohr once said, "If quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet." He was speaking of this very strangeness, the way the observer and the observed seem impossibly entangled. And that brings us back to the paradox. If consciousness plays a role in shaping what we see at the smallest scales of reality, what might it shape in your life? Humanity has long wrestled with this question. From the age of Newton and Descartes to a quiet mystic named Neville Goddard, who believed that imagination itself is the divine power that shapes the world. For most of human history, the answer to our question, can the mind shape reality, was a firm and simple no. Reality, we were told, was a machine. When Isaac Newton published his Principia Mathematica in 1687, he gave the world a model that would dominate science for centuries. The universe as a vast, predictable mechanism. The mind, in this worldview, was irrelevant. Matter obeyed matter. Thought was a ghost in the machine. This worldview, called materialism, worked extraordinarily well. It built bridges, split atoms, launched rockets. It taught us that reality is measurable, observable, and above all, independent of our thoughts. And yet, even within that paradigm, the mind refused to stay irrelevant. Modern science, reluctantly at first, began noticing how thought shaped the body. Consider the placebo effect, perhaps the most common example of mind-touching matter. A sugar pill, inert and powerless, can trigger healing, reduce pain, and even shrink tumors if the patient believes it will work. In one remarkable 1950s study, patients with bleeding ulcers were told they were receiving a powerful new medication. 2/3 showed significant improvement. The medication was simply water. In another astonishing case from the 1950s, a man named Mr. Wright, dying of advanced lymphoma, begged his doctor for an experimental drug called crabiosin. Within days of receiving it, his tumors shrank dramatically. But when news broke that this drug was ineffective, his cancer returned. His doctor, in a desperate gambit, told him a new, improved version of the drug was available, and instead injected him with plain water. Again, the tumors vanished. Mr. Wright's belief was more powerful than any drug. neuroscientists discovered why mental rehearsal worked. Mirror neurons and neuroplasticity allowed imagined actions to strengthen the same neural pathways as real ones. When you vividly imagine playing piano, the motor cortex lights up as if your fingers were actually moving across the keys. The machine was starting to look less mechanical. But no matter how impressive these findings were, they seemed to stop at the edge of the skin. The mind could change the body, yes, but could it change anything beyond? The answer, according to one quiet, magnetic man from the early 20th century, was a resounding yes. In 1905, on the island of Barbados, a boy named Neville Lancelot Goddard was born into an ordinary world. But he would grow up teaching something extraordinary. The fourth of 9 children in a merchant family, young Neville seemed destined for a conventional life. But at 17, he left Barbados for New York City. It was there, in the 1930s, that he encountered a mysterious Ethiopian rabbi named Abdullah, who would change the course of his life. Abdullah taught Neville Hebrew, the Kabbalah, and a radical interpretation of the Bible, not as history, but as a psychological blueprint. The Bible is about you, Abdullah would say. Every character, every story, is happening within your own consciousness. By the mid-20th century, Neville was speaking to packed halls across America, sharing a message both radical and ancient. Imagination creates reality. To Neville, this was not a metaphor. It was a law. He believed that the world around us is shaped not by effort, luck, or circumstance, but by the stories we hold to be true in the theater of our minds. His lectures, poetic, biblical, and wildly challenging, claimed that every event in your life is the outer reflection of your imagination. Change the story within, and the stage without must follow. Neville taught a deceptively simple method. Number 1, assume the feeling. Feel as though the wish has already been fulfilled. Number 2, persist. Return to that feeling nightly, especially in the drowsy state between waking and sleep, which he called the state akin to sleep. And number 3, let go. Trust that reality will rearrange itself to match the inner state. This wasn't wishful thinking. It was, in his words, the law of consciousness. And he claimed to have lived it again and again. One of Neville's most famous stories involved his brother Victor, who was stationed with the British Army in Barbados during World War II and desperately wanted to return home to his family. Neville, living in New York, decided to imagine that his brother was already free, picturing the two of them together, Victor telling him about his honorable discharge. Every night, Neville would enter that drowsy state and replay the scene. His brother's voice, his joy, the feeling of relief and celebration. Within weeks, against all military protocol and wartime regulations, Victor received an honorable discharge. The official reason given was vague and unusual. Victor sailed home. Neville insisted it wasn't coincidence. It was consciousness made manifest. Perhaps Neville's most compelling demonstration was what he called the ladder experiment. During one of his lectures, he instructed his audience to imagine climbing a ladder before going to sleep each night. But during the day, they were to write on a piece of paper, "I will not climb a ladder." The contradiction was intentional. He wanted to prove that imagination, not conscious will, shapes reality. Within days, students reported bizarre circumstances. A friend asking them to help paint a ceiling, a sudden need to retrieve something from a high shelf, an unexpected invitation that required climbing a ladder. Their conscious minds said no, but their imagination said yes, and reality followed imagination. Skeptics dismissed Neville's claims as mystical nonsense. But as physics ventured deeper into the quantum world, reality itself began to look suspiciously like what he described. The famous double-slit experiment revealed a universe stranger than anyone expected. Fire particles of light, photons, through two slits, and they create a wave-like interference pattern on a screen, suggesting they behave as waves. But the moment you observe which slit they pass through, the interference pattern disappears. The photons behave like particles instead. The act of observation changed the outcome. It was as if reality was waiting for a conscious witness before deciding what to be. And so the line between observer and observed blurred. Reality, at its most fundamental level, seemed to be a dance between matter and mind. Outside physics, researchers pushed further into the mystery. The Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research PAIR Lab, founded in 1979 by Dean Robert John, ran decades-long studies on whether human intention could influence random systems. Over millions of trials, the results showed small but statistically significant deviations, far beyond what chance would predict. In one experiment, participants were asked to influence a random number generator with their minds to make it produce more ones than zeros, or vice versa. Over thousands of trials, the machines produced patterns subtly biased toward the participants' intentions. The effect was small, but persistent, reproducible, and inexplicable by conventional physics. As one researcher put it, the evidence suggests that consciousness can influence physical systems. If all of this is true, or even partly true, the implications ripple outward like waves. What if reality is not a wall to push against, but a mirror that reflects our assumptions back to us? Philosophers from William James to Alan Watts entertained this idea that consciousness is not in the universe, it is the universe experiencing itself. What we call the world might not be separate from mind at all, but rather the outer expression of an inner field. Carl Jung spoke of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem to connect inner states with outer events. In one case, a patient dreamed of a rare golden scarab beetle. The next day, during her session, an actual scarab taps against Jung's window. The synchronicity shattered her rigid rationalism and opened her to healing. Coincidence? Perhaps. Or maybe the universe was listening. So, we've explored the machine and the mystery, the biology and the belief, the quantum and the question mark. The idea that thought creates reality is thrilling. But yes, it raises questions about our role in suffering and chaos. As Neville said, you are not responsible for the state you were born into, but you are responsible for the state you perpetuate. We are not the entire painting, but we are a brushstroke. You did not choose the hand you were dealt, but you choose how you hold the cards. As we stand at the edge of understanding, one truth seems clear. The boundary between mind and matter is not a wall, it's a veil. And through that veil, something passes both ways. It seems then that if mind and matter are not enemies but partners, we are not mere passengers on this cosmic ship. We are co-navigators. This realization shifts everything. It means the stories we tell ourselves are not idle monologues. They are blueprints. It means the quiet thoughts we whisper in the dark are not insignificant. They are signals sent into the fabric of the world. And perhaps most importantly, it means we are not powerless. Even in a reality we cannot fully control, we can participate in its unfolding. Think of it this way. A single seed cannot decide the weather, but it can choose to sprout. Likewise, a single thought may not be able to override the laws of physics, but it can create the conditions for possibilities to grow. When you change how you see yourself, you make different choices. Those choices create new circumstances. Those circumstances ripple outward, touching lives and shaping futures in ways too subtle and interconnected to ever fully trace. If we accept that our minds and the world are entwined, then the stakes change. The future is not a story written for us. It's a story written with us. Science is already exploring this frontier. New fields, like psychoneuroimmunology, study how thoughts influence the immune system. Research at Harvard Medical School has shown that meditation can alter gene expression, turning on anti-inflammatory genes and turning off stress response genes. Emerging disciplines in quantum information theory ask whether consciousness itself might be a fundamental property of the universe, not an accidental byproduct of neurons, but a participant in reality's code. Physicist Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness." And across philosophy, physics, and spirituality, an old intuition returns in new language. We are not observers of the cosmos. We are expressions of it, waves rising briefly from a single ocean. All of this may sound vast and abstract, but it has deeply human consequences. If imagination shapes experience, then every story you hold about yourself is a kind of creative act. If attention influences reality, then what you focus on matters more than you think. A person who believes that they are unlucky sees only closed doors. A person who believes that they are worthy begins to knock, and often finds one open. Consider the story of Garrett Porter. Just 9 years old, he practiced daily visualization under the guidance of psychologist Patricia Norris. He imagined his immune system as a powerful army, destroying the brain tumor the doctors said was inoperable. He pictured himself healthy, playing and laughing. Within months, the tumor began to shrink. A year later, it was gone. His doctors called it spontaneous remission. His family called it a miracle. And so the great mystery collapses back into the smallest of moments. The way you speak to yourself in the mirror, the dreams you dare to entertain before sleep, the gentle shift from "I can't" to "what if I could?" These are not just thoughts. They are seeds. Now, as our journey draws to a close, let us return to where we began. with a simple question that is no longer so simple. If a thought can make your mouth water, can it shape the world? We may never know the full answer, but evidence, from the laboratory to the pulpit, from the philosopher's desk to the dreamer's heart, whispers that the boundary between inner and outer is thinner than we imagine. Perhaps reality is not something that happens to us. Perhaps it's something that happens through us. Neville Goddard spent his final years teaching in Los Angeles, speaking to anyone who would listen. He died in 1972, but his words echo still. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, remember, your thoughts are not confined to the silence of your skull. They are part of the universe speaking itself into being. And you are one of its most beautiful sentences. As you rest now, may your imagination shape beautiful worlds. As always, I wish you good thoughts. Good night, dreamer.